Hola, mi familia. So today I became involved with some people who are arguing over theism, as they call it, theism and atheism, and some pretty strange arguments occurred, and I got involved, and I wanted to make a statement about it. I wanted to talk about it because it's interesting to me, and I think it's pretty funny. There's one dude calls himself cosmological. He's hilarious. I love that dude. He's on the atheist platform. No, the theist side, we have this dude who he tells me that he tells us all. He's telling us all that if we're not Christian, if we don't believe in Christianity, and we don't follow those beliefs strictly, adhere to those beliefs, then we are choosing to go to hell and to be damned for eternity, and that someday we're going to be on our knees, begging Jesus for mercy. Now, Jesus is okay, and this is because Jesus thinks that we hate him. Now, that's his side of the argument. Jesus, omnipresent Jesus, God. Jesus is God. Remember, and God is omniscient and knows all things. Yet somehow Jesus is confused as to how I feel about him because apparently he thinks that because I'm not a Christian, he's assuming I must hate him. I hate Jesus. If I'm not a Christian, I hate Jesus. Again, another tactic used by these religious fanatics to try and trick you into following their belief system. And then at some point, because Jesus thinks that I hate him, he's confused, and he's so Jesus is somewhere up in the clouds crying about it because I hate him. He's waiting to put me to the fucking chains and toss me in hell. He's waiting for it. He can't wait to just eternally damn me for not buying his book, and and that and someday I'm going to be on my knees begging Jesus for mercy because Jesus is this terribly threatening figure that I should be afraid of. Let me tell you something. Jesus, I don't hate you. I think you're a cool guy. I respect what you're trying to do. And, you know, your dad and we're good friends. We got a great relationship. So I don't think there should be any problems there. And so far as getting on my knees and begging for mercy because you're going to put me in hell, I've been there. I always get back A, and B, fuck you. No, I'm not gonna beg anybody for mercy. Sorry. I very sincerely apologize to any religious folk. I did not mean to say fuck you to Jesus, although I did say fuck you to Jesus. I mean, if he's gonna be an asshole about it, fuck him. That's not the Jesus I know. From what I was told, Jesus was a good guy. He's not gonna fucking put me on my knees and make me beg for mercy, or he's gonna throw me in the flames of eternal damnation. I was never taught to believe in that Jesus. However, the theists are taught various contradictory themes. Like, try this one on for size. Thou shalt worship no graven image. Thou shalt place no God before me being God. Now, we worship Jesus, don't we? Is that not placing a God before God? Oh, but that's right, Jesus is God somehow. I mean, at least that's the excuse. Well, then how about the graven image? Because what we worship is the image of a murdered man nailed to a cross, a corpse. nailed to a fucking wooden cross. That's the image that we are worshiping before God, which, mind you, is a false idol. Sorry, but pay attention. You guys got your shit all screwed up. And it's like it's very seriously obvious mistakes that you're making in your entire construction of experience, period. So that's the theist side. That's, what I'm seeing there, and what feedback I'm getting from there is that I better watch myself, or I'm gonna be in big trouble with Jesus when it comes down to it. I'm gonna have to go ahead and doubt that. Sorry. I'm I'm pretty sure that if I do happen to run into Jesus at some point, we'll get along fairly well. Now then there's the atheist side. These guys, they're exceptionally intelligent. They have so many awesome things to say, and they have a great sense of humor about it too. But they're wasting all their motherfucking time at arguing the existence of God. Let me ask you a question. How exactly do you intend to go about doing that? Can you show me, you know, a picture of God that you're going to disbelieve? Do you have evidence against God's existence? No, you have a lack from your perspective. You have a lack of evidence that God exists. However, there is very obviously intelligent design in play. And yes, there is an operative force behind the workings of the universe, and things do tend to happen for a reason. Synchronicities occur every single day, and you experience them yourself firsthand. So, yes, you do have tangible evidence of an existing force, omniscient presence in the universe. It's not religion's God, and that's your argument. Your argument is not with God, and it's an absurd waste of time and effort, and just a waste of being to be atheist. I don't believe in God. No, you don't believe in religion. You don't believe in man's bullshit made up God. And yes, God in the Bible is very obviously the antagonist of the story. It's common sense, and you know you're actually kind of persecuting an entity that, in fact, not only cares for you and loves you and looks after you and sustains you, is giving you life itself and all that you require and desire, in fact, but is you. God is you, and you're punishing it because religion fucked up. Like, A, why? B, where the fuck do you get off? You're gonna It's like you're looking in the mirror and you're saying you're a fucking asshole because you had a bad idea 1,000 years ago. And everybody's still sticking to it. That's their fucking problem. Stupid people. They're just stupid people. It's not God behind it. God's not running the show on the Christian movement. That's just a cult. I'm sorry to the Christians, but it's basic, simple common sense, and I can't just sit back and let it slide anymore. I have to speak to it because we're running out of time. This has gone on for far too fucking long. You guys got to wake up. We're not theist. We're not atheist. We're people. Christianity is an idea, and you know what? It turned out to be kind of a bad idea. Wouldn't it be a hell of a lot simpler to just say, hey, Jesus did a whole hell of a lot of good, and then you know what? Jesus was murdered because of it. And maybe we ought to learn from that mistake. Maybe we ought to look back on ourselves and say, you know what? perhaps some of the ways that we're handling things is incorrect, and we need to actually snap to and make some decisions, some deliberations as to how we're going to change the way that we maneuver through the world. It's this shine and shade in play. It's this shaded aspect of ourself, this hidden, secret, shameful aspect of ourself that we don't want to admit that we made a mistake. We don't want to admit that we were wrong. We're ashamed of ourselves and the way that we behaved. And yes, this carries over both biologically through our DNA in a genetic fashion. Our genetic memory carries over and has been carrying over since the dawn of all things. But in the fact that we do, in fact, reincarnate, we are continuously living, repeating this cycle. And you know what? If you had to speak to the concept of an eternal damnation, where are we? Gravity pulls inward, downward to the bottom. So here we are on this rock at the bottom. And we are eternally repeating this cycle of suffering through our mistakes. So where does that put us, according to your biblical understanding? We can get out. We can at any fucking time, anytime. All you have to do is wake up, stop dicking around, admit you fucked up, and change your mind about how you're going to handle it from here on out. Stop right here, right now, scratch it, move on. That's simple. Say, you know what? I'm sorry. I was stupid. I made a stupid move. Bring that shade to the surface. Bring it to the light and let your truth shine. And for God's sake, stop dicking around with this. I want to be, an individual on my own, and I want to hang out in the background. And I kind of like to be. I like to be what you think. You think yourself as the puppet master behind the scenes, pulling the strings. Why? A lot of you are going to say, most especially the people who have this religious idealism, you're going to say that God's deserving of grace and that you live by God's grace alone and that you aren't deserving of recognition. Fuck you. You're not deserving of recognition. That's just fucking stupid bullshit. That's obnoxious, selfish, ridiculous bullshit. And B, it's a total cop out for you to be, to hide yourself, to be that shaded element that's hidden in the background. I'm not going to step out of the shadows. I'm not going to work at it because I'm afraid I might fail. Because I'm afraid of the mistakes I've made in the past. I'm afraid of repeating them. I'm afraid that I might fuck up. Well, fuck up. Step up, stand by my side with me and my people, get with the initiative, link us all together, network everybody together. You go ahead and you believe whatever you want to. Nobody's going to tell you to believe any different. Nobody's going to tell you to think or feel any differently than you ever did, other than that we will encourage you and motivate you to feel better and promote you to do more, inspire you to be more, to be stronger, to be faster, sharper, to be better. We're going to continuously inspire and motivate you to improve yourself in any way you see fit. And you are never going to be asked, let alone forced, to believe any differently than you ever have. Or to alter the way that you think and feel about the world in any other way than to make it a more positive and functional, actionable placement. And all that we have to teach, any spotters in the initiative that are teaching, all that we have to teach is tips and tricks on how to play the game, how to have more fun, how to be a bigger player, how to do more things, how to inspire, how to experience. how to communicate with the world, how to realize yourself and realize your connection to nature and to divinity. Theists talk about sin, breaking divine law. Firstly, that's not possible. It's a divine law because you can't break it. It's called physics. It's in play all the time. You cannot break it, but you can alter it. Together, we can all alter it. And you know what? If you're going to tell me that's bullshit, that we can't alter physics with our collective intention, then why don't you jump aboard, give it a shot, and prove me wrong? There's nothing to be afraid of. We need to get together. We need to just work together. That's all. We need to step up and promote each other, inspire each other, help each other. You know, when me and my people, the directive, when we make projects happen, when we want to, fucking do a fundraiser to feed starving people in Uganda, when we want to start a fucking book club just to share, stories about what stories we like, or what books or movies we've read or watched that inspired us, when we want to collect artists just to share our works and inspire each other. How about you give it a shot and just fucking do it, instead of making excuses as to why you don't have the time for it, or you don't you don't care enough, is ultimately the bottom line. And the only thing that we are promoting, the only thing that we want to alter, the only thing that we want to change is whether or not people give a shit. We want you to care enough to take action, to do something. Because every little bit counts. When you post a piece of artwork, which, mind you, most of you people are not joining in because you say you have a problem with Facebook. Why? I've heard because it's censored. If it's censored, then that's kind of one of the areas we want to be working at now, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of our job, and it is our responsibility to take action against that. If Facebook is censoring people, then let's get on Facebook and let's show what we can do. And if they try to censor us, then we fight back. No, what you want to do is run away. What all of you want to do is run away. You want to talk a big game about unity and about collective consciousness and understanding and enlightenment, and the spreading joy and love in the world, but you want to do it, alone in a tiny little corner just once in a while. And when someone like me comes along and my people come along and we say, hey, let's work on a project together. Let's get something going together. Let's show the world that we care enough to get together so that other people will join in, so that we can get this ball rolling and make something big happen. When that shade steps up and starts giving you excuses as to why you should drop back, as to why you should give out, as to why you should avoid joining in with your family and helping them make something great happen, change the world before it's too fucking late to. When that shade steps up, fight back. Stop it dead in its tracks and say, you know what? Fuck you. I have the power to step up and act, and I'm going to do it. That's all I can think to say right now. Where the only real battle here is that shine versus shade. And yes, some aspects of the shade are necessary and proper, and we want to achieve a balance. But we want to achieve a balance. Right now, that shade's pulling you down. You have way too much of that going on. I want to see you people shine, and I'm fighting like hell to make it happen. And I'm not going to give up, ever. I'm going to see you shine. I'm going to see every last one of you fly. Pick up off the ground and fly. And I'm going to see you shining in the sky like a fucking beautiful supernova. I'm not ever going to stop. Every single fucking day I'm going to work towards that. until you stop making up reasons as to why you can't afford to do it. Love every one of you. I'm sorry I'm such an asshole, but fuck me, this is frustrating sometimes. Anyway, in any case, I didn't intend for this to be a mean video. I apologize. Kila Salai, Tevayune Siari, Namaste. Love you all. Again, I apologize. I'm an asshole, but I'm not a bad guy.